welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope this video finds you all doing amazing, just coming off of Mother's Day. I hope all the mothers had a brilliant day yesterday. Today we're going to make a jar with this textured jar mold that I got here several months back. Like I said, I ordered a whole bunch of molds from Temu and off of Amazon, and we're going to start getting through them. And I have these shell molds came in a 3-piece, and I'm honestly going to say I can't remember who I bought these from. I don't know if they came from Temu or Amazon. At this point, it's all a blur because I just have them shoved in some place to keep them safe. There's drawers full. I have some in boxes. I have some still in the packaging that they were shipped in. Yeah, it's a wreck. But we're going to use the Kiss Roll casting resin. My first thought was to put this shell on the top of this. I'm going to see about binding the pieces together without having to glue them, and see if I get it to just be one cohesive piece versus a whole bunch of pieces glued on, if you know what I'm saying. My next video, we're going to do this all over again with different molds, of course. We're going to see how well it works with epoxy as well, where epoxy I think it'll work a lot better because as long as you... I know at some point the epoxy is very malleable. I think that's the word I'm looking for. You can manipulate it and it'll still be somewhat soft enough to adhere itself to another piece of epoxy. So I'm really looking forward to trying it with the epoxy. But we're going to go ahead and mix this up. I couldn't tell you how many ounces this mold took. It was frustrating to say the least. The first one I poured, when I moved it, the inside of the jar buckled. These manufacturers have to figure out that when you make a deep mold like this, it's going to need the bracer piece in the center through the entire center to keep its shape. Doing it a ½ inch just at the very top of the mold where you know, that white piece that you see right there that's actually going to be the bottom of the inside of the jar. Yeah, that little cross in there, that's about a ½ inch long. This mold is a good 5 inches tall. And when they're tall like that, the weight of the epoxy, because it's stiff, but it's thin enough that it still buckles. And I know a lot of you who make any form of jar or large piece that's with height, you know what I mean when I'm talking about the buckle inside that, where the inner side caves in and causes that big mound in there. Yeah. If you're going to make tall molds, put the bracer bars all the way down the mold. That way, it holds its shape, because keeping a mold with no structure brace where the mouth of the jar is going to be, excuse me, the odds of that staying in shape is pretty slim to none if you have to move the mold, or even just when you set it down, if you don't realize that, you know, it's just slightly off. The mouth of the jar is not going to be round. It's going to be wonky, and that sucks. But like I said, I still don't know. This is another one of the Miranda colors. They're sold by multiple companies. This one, I believe, is a cream color or an off-white beige. Oh, this is the beige. My bad. Yeah. The last time I used it for the bowl, it didn't do this. For some reason today, it decided it's going to separate and do that oil on water type effect. So I don't know what's going on with these pigments. Let's Resin is bad about it. I've never had Let's Resin work properly. They're pigment dyes. So I guess it's just stick to alcohol inks. And yeah, because you never know when these ones are going to turn on you. I did the bowl with them just fine without this problem. Today they decided to pool on the top like oil. I don't know. My son bought me a new camera for Mother's Day, so we will figure that thing out. So I can quit using my phone and I can just pull the SD card, the memory card, and pop it in my laptop and do all my editing there and stuff. So We'll get that figured out, and when I get it all figured out, I'll show it to you guys I'll show you the box on camera so you guys can see it in case you're interested in it. But yeah, we're gonna get this mixed up. We're gonna get this jar poured. This first pour didn't work out. Like I said, I moved it. I didn't realize, as soon as I reached my hand up there to see why, I lost a ½ inch of resin that I had just poured, and it was perfectly to the top. I mean, you can see it, it's to the top. But when I move it over to make room to work on something else, yeah, the inside of it buckled in. I lost it was a little, about 3/4 of an inch of the depth of the resin. That's what told me there was a problem. I had nothing in the house the right size, because as stiff as this mold is, it's a weak mold. So when I flip the cup over to stick it over the cup like I do my acorn molds, the top piece that would have been the mouth of the cup just caved and just took on a weird shape, and it wouldn't have worked no matter what. So I'm going to have to make something or stuff something up inside of it that's going to make it stiff in there, keep it round. So don't do that. Okay. I sped this part of the video up a bit because it's really quite boring. I made a mess. A huge mess. We're going to get this demolded. Like I said, it's stiff, but it's weak. I did get that nasty little bubble in there. Even though I re-poured and I tried to brace it, the bracing did not quite work out very well. But yeah, no fun. No fun, no fun, no fun. I'm pretty sure I sped up the wrong part of this video. If the next part's in slow motion, I'll be so mad. But next thing we're gonna do. My first thought was, let's put a bunch of little shells around the outer edge. Then I remembered, oh, I have a seahorse mold. Let's put a seahorse on the outside of the jar. The first seahorse didn't work out, so you'll see that the jar kind of changed its color where I wiped off the seahorse and I just kind of made the rest of the jar look correct. I originally was going to put the shell, but I decided that the little shells on top would be a better deal. And I wanted some extra shells, so I poured those first. I'm not going to lie. And this is the seahorse that this is the one I screwed the pooch on. So now I gotta clean it out. But I'm gonna step away and I'll be back once I got it all done. Okay, I got the mold stuck on, you guys. Now it's time to demold. This was actually the piece of video I was trying to speed up. Why it sped up that whole portion, I'll never know, because they're two separate pieces of video. One of the little shells stuck in, but this one was going at 4.5 times slower than this for some reason. But yeah, pulled this up here. Yeah, it worked, you guys. It worked. It'll take a little more finessing to get it perfect. But, yeah. Absolutely, it worked. Of course, the lid don't fit on the jar because it's all wonky. But I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's not usable because the jar's crap because of the thing caving in like it did. But we can see that it works. We can see that we can pour it in, stick it to it, and it will dry adhered to it and work as its own adhesive. So that's a win-win in my book, and it makes such a cool looking mold. But yeah, so I'm going to put glamour shots up at the end of this. For those of you who are here watching and haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. It's free. It don't cost a thing. And it helps me out tremendously. I've been stagnant at this 735 for about 4 months now, maybe 5. And it's getting very... it's gutting, to be honest, that the channel's not growing, and I do have a steady schedule now. Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at noon a video should drop for you guys. Like I said, yesterday was Mother's Day, so this one is late getting out, and I deeply apologize. But you're getting it on Tuesday, so we're gonna get there, I promise. But please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, drop a comment, tell me what you want to see on the channel. This channel is all about you guys. I want to put out content that you guys want to see so the channel can continue growing and so you can continue enjoying being here when it does come on. I did break the shell off in the middle because I gave it a good hard press and I shouldn't have, but that one didn't have as much. It was a little, I know I should have added a little more of the resin to it, but you know, hindsight, right? I need to make sure I put just get them like just even and then apply a little bit of pressure for a few minutes to get those things to stick on perfectly. But hey, this is our first attempt. There'll be more. I have plenty of molds that I bought for this exact thing. Different designs and stuff to be able to connect them like this without having to use glue and stuff. So yeah. But yeah. I appreciate you guys being here. Let me set these shells back up here. Like I said, we're going to get some climber shots at the end of this thing here. And yeah. I hope everybody had an amazing Mother's Day. I hope this video finds you all doing amazing. And yeah, I'm not mad at it. But I'll see y'all in the next one. Me and my scattered brain. Bye-bye.